We've got a lot to cover on today's episode. We've got the end of another transfer window. We've got a humongous run toward the end of the season. And our dreams of getting back to the Bundesliga, they may just come true. Now, that's not going to happen on today's episode, but I think we can start to taste it. Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 15 of Lionhearted, the return of TSV 1860 Munich. And we are back a little bit earlier in the schedule than we originally anticipated because we've got a huge top of the table 6-pointer coming up at the end of February here against Dortmund II. If you want to take a little bit of a look at the table, see where we are. We'll get to where we've been since the last episode in just a second. We find ourselves 3 points at the top of the table over Dortmund, and as you can see, it's really a two-horse race at this point for the Dritte Liga. We're almost, not quite, almost assured an automatic promotion spot to the second Bundesliga. We currently find ourselves 16 points above Dynamo Dresden for third place. So things are looking really good. We still have 12 matches left on the schedule, though, so we're not going to count our chickens before they hatch. We've done pretty well since the last episode, winning 3 in a row. We had a 3-0 victory over RW Essen. They're sitting towards the bottom of the table, so that's not really a huge shock. We beat Heidenheim 2-1, and it was a 1-0 victory over Bayreuth, where we rotated the squad a little bit. You'll see Yunus Atemer picking up his 4th goal of the season. We've also made some transfer moves. We picked up Abubakar Ghali, a 23-year-old winger, just for a little bit of extra security. You know, we weren't feeling so great about Atemer's future. Not 100% sure if he was the right solution to back up Kobylanski and Vernetzi. We got him on loan from Slovan Liberec. It's going to cost us 625 euros a month. Figured it was worth it. Meanwhile, at the end of the transfer window, we had a number of players go out on loan for further development. They're all coming from our B squad and our U19. So Max Jagerbauer, Ariane Avdia, who is a very promising young goalkeeper, Justin Toning, Lorenz Noferl, Daniel Lang, Yannick Seals, and Maximilian Rothdauscher, all going out on development loans. But our biggest signing of the window is a familiar face. We have secured the services permanently of Taylan Duman. Joined us from Nuremberg on loan for the season. We got him on a free at the end of his contract at the end of the year. He's going to cost us about 6,000 euros a week, but in the second Bundesliga, which is where we expect to be, it's so totally worth it. He has been a revelation so far this year. In 18 appearances, 7 goals, 2 assists, has been named player of the match 3 times, a rating of almost 7.2 on average. He has been an absolute revelation in our midfield, and we are very glad to have him for another 4 years. But the task at hand before us is Dortmund II. And after rotating the squad in the last match, as we just mentioned a minute ago, we're going back with our regulars. It's Kretschmar in goal with Kleinhansel, Papadopoulos, Zvigala, and Podolski ahead of him. Reeder at the base of the midfield with Taylan and Schultz ahead of him. Vernetzi, Kobylanski on the wings, and Finn Lachenmacher up top as we get set to potentially take a 6-point lead at the top of the table. And it's not going to be an easy task because much like us just before the last episode, Dortmund is on quite the run of form, unbeaten in their last 11. We're hoping to turn things around for them, keep our winning streak going. We've won 4 in a row. And obviously keep our place at the top of the table very firmly. But the run of play in the early going, the first 10 minutes is going to go towards Dortmund as Anning carries it down, throws in the middle for Alonso, hits the crossbar as Vigala is able to clear, and we are controlling in the midfield. It's Taylan with it, playing it to Podolski along the right side, and that is where the highlight is going to end. Lots of back and forth so far as we come back just under 25 minutes in control in our own end. Papadopoulos and Zvigala ahead for Taylan. He's got room in front of him, loses it to Dortmund as Eberwein plays it for Okono. Throwing it up towards Tottenmush. Podolski can't clear it very far. Guys, we've got to be tighter on the ball here. Played in. It's going to be an easy play for Kretschmar. So a couple of early opportunities for Dortmund that were handled pretty easily in the end by 1860 Munich. But we've not got to notch things up just that little bit more if we are going to hold on to our spot. As Podolski gains control, Kobylanski flipping it forward. He's got Lochenmacher, and Lochenmacher's got a goal. His 16th of the year. Kobylanski on the assist. And just at the 25-minute mark, 1860 Munich has taken the 1-0 lead. This time it was Dortmund that was untidy on the clear. Podolski gets it to Kobylanski, flipping it ahead for Lochenmacher, able to get past those center backs. One-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he chips it in for his 16th goal of the year. What a revelation at the front of the line he has been. Kobylanski playing fantastically as well, and we are hoping that we can continue to fire on all cylinders, because this is the biggest match I think we're going to end up playing in this second half until, fingers crossed, we are competing for the championship. Lochenmacher can't get his head on that one. Vernetzi, though, is able to get the ball loose in the box, off of the corner, his 4th goal of the year. Albion Vernetzi puts us up 2-0. Good delivery by Podolski. There was a lot of traffic, though, in the middle in front of the goal. Vernetzi able to get it back, throws it past the defense, past the goalkeeper. 2-0 is your score. And right now we are on, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx anything, we are on cruise control as we look to go up 6 points at the top of the table. Into halftime we go. Possession very evenly split, 50% apiece. We are winning the XG battle. We have more shots on target. We have more shots. We committed fewer fouls. All of the good things that lead to our success. And I, as a manager, am extremely happy with how things are going. So we hope the lads can keep this up as we move into the second half. And starting to plan next year, I think, for the second Bundesliga, because we're getting closer and closer. Schultz is taken down, no penalty call. Papadopoulos gets the clear. Zvigala to Schultz. Papadopoulos, Kobylanski, Schultz. Talon back to Zvigala. Ahead, Kobylanski. Oh, what a play. Was he onside? Yeah, I believe he was. Martin Kobylanski just chesting it down. Great ball control in the box. As we see here again, Zvigala throwing it forward. Kobylanski, the chest down, pushes onto his right foot, flips it over the goalkeeper. It is 3-0, less than 2 minutes into this second half. 25 minutes left to go, thrown in on the free kick, and 5 yellow cards have already been assessed to Dortmund in this game. So things are going from bad to worse for them. Let's hope that we can't, or that we don't give the ball away here as we're trying to control possession in the Dortmund half. Last thing we need is a counterattack to give them life. As it's thrown forward, Koulibaly's going to head it down, though. Anning gets it back from Tattermush. Anning again. I can't even pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try. Anning throwing it forward for Eberwein, playing it back. Anning again as Dortmund controls and pushes it forward. Looks like Podolski able to get in the way, but they are able to maintain control. Simic with a shot. See, that's what I was talking about. A weak shot from outside the box, and Simic has made it a 3-1 game. So we're going to look to make some changes. We don't need to watch that again. We're going to try to get some tired legs off of there. We've got guys who are anxious, who are wound up. Obviously, Louis Podolski is furious, and he has every right to be. We're going to bring Kalant in for Kleinhansel like we have in recent games. The reason being, Alexander Freitag just coming off of an injury. He is not on the bench tonight. As far as everybody else, they're actually looking to be in pretty good shape. Although Zvigala is, wound up. We don't like that. Daniel Vine is going to come in and take his place. So we'll make those 2 changes as we give them a little pep talk about how much we trust them to hang on to this. What do you mean no team talk? I just gave a team talk. We've got to confirm that sub. Can't make those mistakes. 20 minutes left to play. Throw in Kalant. Schultz has it. Into the box for Netzi. Pushes it into the middle. Tim Reeder. of all people, our defensive midfielder getting forward on the throw-in play, picking up his first goal of the year, and just a minute after we conceded our first and gave up the clean sheet, we have raised our lead back to 3, courtesy of Tim Reeder making a very rare offensive play. And it looks like at this point there is nothing that 1860 Munich can do wrong. So we're going to make those tactical adjustments that we typically do at this point in the game, where we're going to go a little bit wider. We're going to knock the tempo down a little bit. We are going to waste a lot of time. We're going to slow down our distribution, and we'll drop off a little bit more while we're not pressuring the goalkeeper as much. We actually want them to throw it long, because if they throw it long, we have a better chance of gaining control without having to tire ourselves out by putting on all of that pressure. 9 minutes left to go, and things could not have gone better on the road for 1860 Munich this afternoon, as we are going to cruise to what I believe is going to be a 4-1 victory as 4 minutes are added on at the end. Yes, some of our players are a little bit knackered, but it doesn't matter because the thrill of victory has goaded them on. It's 4-1 away from home and a 6-point lead at the top of the table for 1860 Munich with 11 matches left to play in the season, which means we have a chance coming up. Hopefully not too far from now, we have a chance coming up where we could potentially claim the championship. Now, that doesn't make this next match against Magdeburg any less important. First, we need to maintain that 6-point lead if we want to have a shot at the championship as the season begins to run down. Also, Magdeburg currently sitting in 4th place, just 1 point out of the playoff spot, so they have everything to play for. Now, we are the favored team in this match, so we are going to go with our favored squad. It's going to be Kretschmar, Kleinhansel, Papadopoulos, Vigala, Podolski, Reeder, Talon, Schultz, Vernetzi, Kobelansky, and Lachenmacher. Just like the Dortmund match, we are hoping that we can have a repeat performance of that one. And as the action is underway, 20 minutes have already gone by. Dortmund II does not have a game today, which means that a victory at home against Magdeburg could put us 9 points clear at the top of the table with only 10 matches left to go. But Magdeburg is going to try to take advantage of a corner kick here 30 minutes in. Sent in and over by Lurs. Their first opportunity of the game. That was their very first shot on target. But they're going to get another one as Ritter sends this one in. Roca hits the post. It's going to be sent clear for a Magdeburg throw-in. So they're going to be able to keep the pressure on. But it's not going to amount to anything. So their first 2 shots on goal coming after the 30-minute mark. So I'm really liking how things are going to end up looking for us. Now, it's still 0-0. We still haven't scored yet. But the run of play has definitely been in our favor throughout that first half. 9 shots on goal to 2. 3 on target to 0. We did take over the possession lead as well. Hoping to keep that pressure on because the scoreline does not reflect the pattern of the game so far. Looking to maybe pick up a goal here early on in the second half. We tend to do very well early in both halves. First half, second half. If we can get that goal early, we stand our best chance of victory. Right now, 7 points on top of the table, but 10 minutes have already passed in this second half. And we have yet to see a highlight. So even though the run of play is definitely going in our direction, we're not getting the kind of quality chances that maybe we would expect to have at this point in the match. And it may be time to switch things up a little bit just to, shake things up and, get the dynamic on the field just a little bit different. So we're going to see, everyone's actually playing pretty decently well. But Vernetzi is a little tired, so we're going to give Abubakar Gali a chance on that left wing side. We might as well change up the right as well. So Martin Kobelansky is going to come off in place of Jakub Rezik. And those are going to be the 2 changes we're going to make. We're going to leave Finn Lachenmacher out there. He's looking a little nervous. I'm not sure why exactly, but hopefully he'll be able to regain his focus. Maybe all he needs is a goal. So plenty of time to make things happen. So let's do it, guys. 20 minutes left in regulation. And hopefully this isn't one of those letdown matches that we have become so very famous for in the first season and almost 2/3 here, with just 10 minutes left to go. And right now, really nothing happening. So Finn Lackemacher is going to come off with just a couple of minutes left. Stefan Lex is our super sub. Let's see if he can make something happen. That's going to be the only other change that we are going to make. Faith in you to go out there and make a difference as we give him those instructions as he heads out onto the pitch. Magdeburg has not managed the shot on goal in this half, but they've been playing amazing defense. As you can tell, looking at the match momentum, it is all going 1860 Munich's way. 18 shots to 2 in our favor, an XG of 1.75, but we're not going to be able to do anything with it, and it's going to be disappointment, sadly, as Magdeburg able to hold on defensively. They pick up the point that they needed. Will that be enough to get them into the playoff spot? I'm not sure. It's very disappointing that we did not win that match. We did extend our lead over Dortmund II up to 7 points. They do have a game in hand on us, though. We also have the goal differential lead, which is fantastic. So as we head into the final home stretch, the last 10 matches of the season, the table shapes up like this. 1860 Munich on top with 28 matches played. We've won 22 of them. 4 losses. Most of them came much earlier in the season. A pair of draws as well, including this one, which was probably the most disappointing that we could have imagined, because those were 2 points that we left on the table that we may need at the end of this season. Lots of excitement as we head towards the end of the season. 10 matches left to decide everything. We are 19 points above that playoff position and, well, 4th place, to be perfectly honest with you. So with 10 matches left to go, a potential of 30 points in the next 4 games, we could know if we are definitely going up into the second Bundesliga next year. But we have a shot at the championship. So when we come back, we're going to see if we got there. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've been enjoying this ride as much as I have. If you like these videos, if you want to see more, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Those likes are incredibly important to me, to the channel, and to everybody who views this. Also, make sure that you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when the next episode is going to hit. We'll be back on Monday with more of the return of TSV 1860 Munich. Until then, bye-bye.